Right, this is how I went from a hot mess to becoming a government success. My name is Beverly Barr, and my journey really started after leaving the military. I left the Navy with an honorable discharge, but what I didn't know at the time was I wasn't invited to reenlist, and that's because of a reenlistment code that I had received. And that code stated that I had not shown any professional development. And in all honesty, when I found out that I couldn't reenlist, the truth of the matter was that I couldn't even disagree with it. See, during that time when I was leaving, I was stubborn. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I wasn't even open to feedback. So put in the comments if you can relate to that time in your life, or if you know someone that may be dealing with this right now. And if you have young people in your life, maybe 20 or so, or 19, you may be able to relate to it. But fast forward a few years later, I was working in local government, and I was in a situation where I was on the brink of losing my job. It was tough, and it was a terrible situation. But fortunately for me, the organization at that time had an internal department that handled mediations for employees, and the department that I was working in sought out their help. So the supervisor and I, we were having a lot of conflict, and I was working with her. And so they brought in this mediator, and we had several meetings together. And while those meetings didn't always go well, because quite frankly, the trust and the communication had just really broken down. But those meetings were lifesavers, because here's what came out of it. The mediator gave both of us some personality assessments. And this was the first time in my life that I had ever taken one of these. And for me, it was a game changer. I absolutely loved it. And if you're familiar with taking these assessments, you know that you're asked a series of questions and you have to answer on some scale that is most likely true for you, and in some instances, what's not true for you, right? And once I received the results, this was an eye-opener for me, because it just gave me so much insight into me. And one of the first things that I learned was that I was an extrovert. And for those who knows what that means, it means that I am energized by people. It also means that I process information out loud. And for my introverted friends, it means the opposite for you. This started what felt like a 5 to 6 year journey of taking every assessment known to man. And yeah, I'm exaggerating just a little bit, but in truth, I have taken so many of them, and I gained so much knowledge and information about myself. And over the years, it's just started to raise my confidence level. So working with that mediator, who later became my mentor, it helped me to kind of go back to school. And to go back to school, I started with community college. I got my bachelor's degree, and then I got a master's degree. She helped me so much. And it was during that time that I decided that I wanted to help other women who are just like me find success in their government jobs. I thought that I would lose my job, and not only did I get fired, I found myself. And once I discovered me and who I was, I started to become curious about others. See, when I was younger, I thought people who thought differently than me or who behaved differently than me, I would label them something, right? But now I know better. I started to realize that they were different, but now we can leverage our differences to do great things. For example, I'm a big thinker, so I pair up with someone who is better at the details, because I don't pay attention to the details. I'm also creative, so I think out maybe a logical thinker, so that it can complement our skill sets. And this pairing creates a balanced team where the big thinker and the creative person can maybe focus on creative ideas and maybe the overall strategy, while the detail-oriented logical thinker can handle the specifics planning and the implementation. And together we can cover all the aspects of a project or a challenge more effectively. And we can do this together better than we could alone and or by ourselves. And it's bringing in these types of elements that will make you too a government success. So when you start that process of self-discovery, when you start to take the time to really know yourself, looking at all your talents, your strengths, your ability, and yes, even your challenges, when you start taking accountability and realizing that you have the power to shape your own path, to unlock the potential for tremendous professional and personal growth, it is very fulfilling. And this journey of self-awareness can lead to greater confidence like it did in me. It can lead to more authentic relationships. And you have the ability to pursue goals that align with your values and your passion. So when you embrace this process of self-discovery, it is a step towards leaving behind a hot mess to becoming a government worker and achieving more success. And if you like this content, feel free to subscribe.